In this class, we are going to learn how to create our very first integration in Oracle Integration version 3. So once you land into the home screen for this Oracle integration, click on the navigation menu. From here, we need to click on the design. Also, we can click on straight away create integration as well, but we will follow this method. Click on integrations. So as of now, we don't have any integrations created. If we have to create a very first integration, we need to click on this create button on the right top corner. Click on this. Here it will ask for a couple of options. So in this class, we will learn a basic integration wherein we will pass our name in the request and in the response we will get a greetings. So in order to achieve this use case, we have to go for app-driven integration. In this case only, we will be able to pass the request and get the response back. In the case of scheduled integration, so here we cannot pass the request in the form of a message. So we will learn about scheduled integration in detail in our future classes. As of now, we need to click on this app-driven integration. In the create integration wizard, it is asking for few of the things over here. We need to provide the name. Let us name this as first integration. We can provide any meaningful name. It will create an identifier which will uniquely identify your integration from this integration instance. This identifier should be unique for all the integrations. Suppose if you have 1000 integrations in your integration instance, every integration will have a unique identifier. Next comes the version. There is a 3-dot methodology used over here. So before first dot, it is called as a major version. After 1 dot, it is called as a minor version, and at the end there is a patching version. So if there are few bug fixes you will be doing as part of your maintenance activities, then you can make use of those last 4 digits. So if there are some changes which you are doing that are not major but a little bit minor and having the backward compatibility, then in that case you have to make use of these 2 zeros, that is 1.012 like that. If you are doing some major changes, then you can make use of first 2 digits in order to make the versioning as 2, 3, 4. Suppose if you are maintaining any documentation in SharePoint or some other places, you can provide the URL for the same. Keywords, if you want to give, you can provide over here. Suppose if you provide the keyword, then you can search your integration with the help of keyword as well and not with the help of integrations or identifier name. Packages, let me add the package name over here. Let me add here as first. Done. If you want to search for any other package which you have already created, you can click on the drop down and search for that. Suppose if you want to provide any description, you can provide over here. So in detail description is provided in the Oracle documentation page over here. So what is a name, what is identifier, how to do the versioning and all, what is the documentation URL, what is keyword, what is the package, what is the description. So package we will learn in detail in our future class. Like if we add 5 integration as part of one package, and we can export and import the package itself in order to export all the 5 integrations. We don't have to specifically export one by one all the integration and then we have to import in our test or the production instance. Rather, we can directly export the package which will be having in this packages section, and we can import that PAR file. So once you populate all the details, click on this create button. It will open up the designer canvas page for your integration, that is first int, and it will open automatically the trigger wizard for you. Suppose if you have created any ERP cloud connection, it will open all the connection details over here, ERP connection and all. One more method is we can click on this trigger section over here. So here available connections it will show. If not, we can just click on this plus connection. From here we can search for the REST, as we have to expose this integration over REST protocol. Then we can click on this REST. It will open the REST adapter creation menu for us. So we will create a fresh REST adapter. Let me name this as a trigger REST. So the role will be only trigger in this case. That is, trigger means we can use this connection only at the starting place of this integration and nowhere else. That is invoke. So invoke means in between start and end, we can make use of this connection in order to invoke any REST API, get the response back. In this case, we just want this connection to expose our integration over the REST protocol. So I am just using it as a trigger. Keyword, if you want, you can provide over here so that you can uniquely identify your connections from the connections menu. So once you populate all the details, click on create. So this will take you to this connection page. Once you land here, you have to click on this test. So already the configuration is 100% complete. Click on this save. Once you click on this go back, it will take you to the integration designer canvas. Now automatically this trigger plus connection will open up this wizard. We have to select our trigger underscore REST connection which we just now created from this wizard. Click on this trigger underscore REST. So here, like we do in the previous version of Oracle integrations, what we have to do is we have to provide some meaningful name, that is I am giving here trigger. So if you want to provide the endpoint description, you can provide over here, and if you are configuring this REST endpoint with multiple verbs or the resources, then you can check mark this. As of now, we are not doing anything, just clicking on next. So we have to provide some description over here. I am writing as get greetings. So here in the resource also I am giving as get greetings. So what action do you want to perform? I am interested in the get only. So if you want to configure the response, yes, we need the response because we want to send the message back, that is hello and the name. So I'm check marking this add and review parameters because we have to send our name in the input. So I'm passing this in the query parameter. So rest I'm doing default, click on next. So in the query parameter, click on this add. I'm giving this as name and the query parameter, and the data type I'm selecting as string. As of now, I'll create only one query parameter. Click on next. So in the response, it is asking the sample schema. I'm selecting the JSON sample over here and click on inline. So here we want just the message or the greeting. So I'm giving the sample. Our JSON will look something like this. Hello and the name. Yeah, that's it. Just scroll down and click on OK. Rest I will leave it as default. Click on next and click on done. Here we can change the layout of the canvas, that is as of now it is in the vertical. We can make it as horizontal if we just make it like this. So changing the layout like horizontal to vertical is completely your choice, how you want to work with integrations. Next we have to click on this mapper, click on this options over here and click on edit. So this will open the mapper editor for you. I am enabling this accessibility and developer mode and clicking on expand response wrapper. There is this greeting element available which we had created while defining the trigger endpoint. Expand the query parameter. I will drag this name and map it to greetings. So it will map something like this, but we want to add the message as well. So in order to add the message, just expand this. Under the string functions, you will find the concat. So if you know all those functions handy, then you can just straight away come to this, that is by typing concat followed by the parameters which you want to pass. Now it has added over here at the end. Let me just cut from here. I will put the comma as is, but concat and the round bracket open I will add over here. Next it comes comma, then we need to write some message. I will write over here, have a nice day. So here I will put some exclamation mark as well, and before name also I will put hello space and the comma, that is hello space and the name and the message. Let me just validate. Yeah, our mapping is valid. Just close this and toggle this. If you want to test this mapper, we can just test here. Even before activating, we can just see how the mapper works. Click on this generate input. Now it has added some query duplicate parameters. Just remove this. So in the name, we will have only one name. We will have over here as Binam Learning. Click on this execute button. So it will show something like this. Hello space Binam Learning exclamation mark. Have a nice day. With this testing, we can confirm that our mapping is well and good. Now we can validate our mapper and go back. So this is the simple integration which we have created. We are having a trigger endpoint over here which will accept the name, and in the mapper we are transforming the message and returning the response back, which we have configured over here with the help of trigger connection. Now before activating, we have to provide the identifier. Click on this icon, that is business identifiers. So here if you scroll down, we can provide the business identifier field name. So we have to expand the query parameter from here. I will provide the business identifier as the name which we get in the query parameter. So like that we are having couple of more tracking variables over here. If you want, you can populate all. I am populating only one. Click on save and click on back. Now we are getting the status as configured. So what we have to do is, in order to activate this integration, click on this activate button. So we are getting three options. Let's see what these three options signify. So while activating, we are getting production, audit and the debug, that is like this. Now production means it will log all the actions with the exception of loops, invokes, logger actions. So in short, it won't log the execution loops, and within that whatever you are having invocations and logger actions, that log you won't get in the audit trail when you see the monitoring or in the observability. It's renamed with Oracle Integration 3 version. So in the case of audit, if we select the audit, it will log the same data to the activity stream as the production along with the payloads of the triggers and invokes. So we can go for this auditing option if you want to log those details. So data is retained in the activity stream for 8 days. In the case of production, it is 32 days, but in this case, it is only 8 days. Next comes the debug. This is not at all recommended because it will take the larger chunk of memory. This will log the same data to the activity stream as the production and data options along with the payloads and all the actions inside the loops as well. So if you want to log all the details within the loops, then we have to go for the debug. Production is a lightweight, it won't log anything. Audit means it will log little bit information but not within the loops, but the debug will log everything even within the loops up to the 1000 loop only, and the data retention is only for 24 hours. So in production, we want the data to be retained for longer duration. We have to go for 32 days. That is this production option. So I am using this for the development instance. I am going for debug. Click on activate. Activation is in progress. I am getting the status over here. If you want, you can just refresh and see the status. It is now activated. Since our integration is a app-driven integration, we will have an option to test this right from this integration instance itself. So in order to test, we have to click on the options and click on this run. So this will open up the testing window for us. In the testing window, we are having this query parameter which we have created, that is name. I am giving here Beenam learning, and we can click on this run button. So we are getting the response back, that is greeting we are getting, that is hello Beenam learning, have a nice day. So this we had transformed with the help of mapper. Now if you want to see in detail message, we can just click on this view button and see the payload. If you want to copy this, we can just copy to clipboard and we can analyze this by copy pasting in VS Code or in the notepad as well. If you want to download, you can click on this download. If you want to download entire payload stream, you can click on this download logs. Suppose if you want to see what information it got in the trigger, if you click on this I button, so in the query parameter, we had passed this Beenam learning in the name. It is showing over here. Suppose if you want to know what was the response sent back from this mapper, from this integration, it is this one. So this we had transformed with the help of XSLT or the mapper. So in this class, we had seen in detail how we can create our very first integration in Oracle Integration 3.